What's up guys, this is Graffiti Tutorials, and today I'm going to be showing you how you paint a realistic Hulk painting on canvas using spray paint. So we're going to be filling it in with spray cans, and then we're going to be using this stencil cap to put all the details in after, because it's just impossible to get the details you need out of a spray can on a scale this small without using a stencil cap. So I'm using the Krewline 210 stencil cap. It's the best one on the market at the moment in my opinion, because it all goes into this bottle, all the paint, and then you can use it as a paint marker after, and it's just a really good setup. So I definitely recommend getting one of these, and you'll see what you can achieve with it at the end of this video as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to block in all the main shades of colour using normal spray can, and then we'll go in and put some details on with this bad boy. Right, so what I'm going to do is obviously just do the main blocks of colour in and then do the details like I just said, but I'm going to try not to go over the pencil marks too much. Try and just dust over it lightly so that you can still see them underneath, otherwise it would have been pointless sketching it out. So when I'm painting it in, I'm literally just going to just dust it in like this around the edges. You've got to have good can control for this. But I'm not looking to proper fill it in, you know, I can still see the pencil marks around it and that, so that's what you want, so that you can then put in the details using the pencil marks you've left, you know. Oh dear, I just heard some splashing and my daughter's got in a paddling pool fully clothed, so just gonna have to go and take her into the wife quick, and we'll be right back. Right, so I've blocked all the main shades in, done some fading and stuff with the other shades of green. You just basically, you want to just look at the picture and just do as much as you think that you can do with the big spray can. So do as much as you can with that before you move on to the stencil cap, because it will take longer to fill in certain bits with a stencil cap. For the black bits, I used black obviously, but then I faded it out with the transparent black, because otherwise you can't fade it properly, otherwise it's a bit too harsh, the proper black is. So just use transparent black so it's a bit softer, and then you'll get a nicer fade. So now I'm going to go in with a stencil cap and just start doing some details. Alright, so that's the Hulk near enough finished now. Still got to do his hair obviously, it's a bit, it looks really furry doesn't it at the moment, but we'll do that after we've done the background, because what I do before I do the background is I tape all this up, what we're going to do in a minute, and I cut round it, and if I'd done all the hairs now, then I'd have to cut round them all once I tape it up, and that would just be a nightmare. But as you can see with that stencil cap, you get some really nice fine detail with that, which you'd never be able to get with a normal spray can. There's still some little bits I've got to tidy up on him, but I'll do that after the background as well. Now to tape this up, we're just going to tape around the main parts, okay, and then we're going to cut it out with a knife, and I'll show you how I do that. You're going to need some low tack masking tape because you don't want it sticking to it, and also you want to get it on there, cut around it and take it off and paint the background as soon as you can, because the longer you leave the masking tape on, the worse it's going to get, and the more it sort of gets really sticky and bakes itself onto there. So you don't want that happening, otherwise you're going to spend days trying to pick it off and probably ruin your artwork as well. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this up now, and then I'll show you what I do to cut it out. Right, so I've got that all taped up now. I'll tape around the edge first, just roughly around the edge. It hasn't got to be perfect. Just go roughly around the edge and then just fill in the middle. And then you can kind of see where the edge is now, what you've got to cut round. Just make sure that's proper stuck down. Sometimes it's not stuck, so just run your nail along it like that. Or if you're one of them people, them weirdos that ain't got nails, then just go and grab a coin or something, yeah, and just flatten that edge down so it's nice and stuck, alright, because you don't want it lifting. And when it comes to cutting around it, this is what I do anyway, because you can't really see where the edge is properly when it's like this, and you might cut it wrong. So what I do, this is the reason I've come upstairs in my studio, is I'm just going to tape it up there like that, up against my window, because then you've got the light coming through the back of it, and now I can see the edge properly to cut it out. And when you're cutting around the edge, it don't matter if you get it bang on perfect, because you can always take it off after you've done your background, and you can sharpen it back up with the stencil cap or whatever. Also, you can do your background first as well, obviously, but the reason I do this is, one, because it gives you a more crisp edge, and two, because I'm always too excited to paint whatever the thing is that I'm painting rather than the background, so I always end up just doing the foreground first. It's a bit stupid really, but like I said, you will get a more crisp edge when you do this anyway. And what you're going to need to cut it with, obviously, is just a really sharp blade. And I've just got like a mini Stanley blade here. And then you're going to just go around the edge, just really, really lightly. You know, you're just trying to cut just through the tape, and you'd be surprised how sharp these things are. Okay, so you're just cutting through the tape, not the canvas, because otherwise, if you press too hard, then you're going to pull the tape off and your whole picture's just going to come out of the canvas, and that's obviously going to be a nightmare. Now, one thing I will say, a little tip my mate gave me, was if you do end up cutting through a little bit and there's a bit of a hole, then you can just go to the back of it and stick a bit of masking tape over it and paint over it with white paint, and you won't notice it too much, and then that will stop the canvas from ripping anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out now, and then we'll go out in the garden and do the background.